Well, that's what I say. They had enough shots of me, so I don't know why they put you in.
That's what I'm saying. They had your ugly ass all over that countdown. They're like, we gotta put this in.
Fight week, dude.
Like,
Be nice.
please put somebody handsome in
nice.
this goddamn countdown.
It's Monday. It's Monday. I don't need to get motivated though, because I'm motivated as hell.
It's fucking fight week, and I'm happy. I woke up and I was anxious this morning. It hit me, fight week, but I feel good, you know, happy it's here. One more session, get a nice sweat. Pack my bags later today. Probably do a little something at the house tonight, and then we're good. We're good. Flying tomorrow.
I'm just gonna get a light sweat, similar to Friday. A little more strategic, kind of do my own thing, jump in class in and out. You know, I just like to come in here to feel the vibe with my teammates, my brothers. You know, as they send me off to fight week, and it's always good to feel those vibes. It's good to see everybody here. They're all part of my camp, so I just want to come in and say thank you to them before I leave. But like I said, the hard work's done, and we fly out tomorrow, man.
I feel like the last 2 to 3 weeks I started getting a little more anxious. You know, I started waking up at night, and then further out I don't really think about it. Then I wake up at night and I feel it, and it kind of like, you know, it kind of hits you there, and like, oh, but I like that feeling. It feels good, you know. And of course this week it builds up. It gets a little more intense, and yeah, all the way to the fight. And that's just something you deal with. At first you got to learn how to deal with it. Some people really don't like that feeling, and you know, it's just part of the process. I know I got to fight, and you know, I accept it and I like it, and it's good.
Move my feet. Big step gets me out. 1, 2, left uppercut. Big step gets me out. I get an angle. Stroke. For the wrestlers, don't be afraid to clinch as a defense. One too hot. One over. 1, 2. I'm gonna run. 1, 2. Over. 1, 2. Over. Jab up. Jab up. Hips. Hips. Yes.
Come at me. Come at me.
I ain't coming at you, bro.
Come at me.
Jab up.
When you've got a guy who's been at the top, the very, very top for a long time, we're talking a decade plus, where do they find their motivation? Where do they find their inspiration? And I think in Stefan's case, it's the drive for perfection, to be the best Stefan Struve he can possibly be. That's his motivation. It's not the accolades. It's not what's going on with the fans and social media and all that bullshit. He doesn't care. I think what ultimately at the end of the day is, how can we be the best martial artist, the best version of himself? And that tends to translate to the best version of Fight Night. And that's exactly what you want, man. It's a grind, everybody knows it. But when you've got that mentality, seeking perfection, you're willing to do anything to get there, man.
You know, no matter how much as an athlete we try and play off, we're all human. Certain emotions are going to peak, certain mindsets are going to start to come into play. You know, we've just had the UFC on the weekend just gone as well. 3 weeks until Fight Night, until I get to be back where I believe I belong, and you know what comes naturally in the cage. So yeah, there has to be some fine tuning, 110%, because it's a big thing to take on. You know what I mean? And for a lot of us, we only get it a couple times a year. So again, the preparation starts here. So every time we come in here, training Monday to Friday, we have to switch up. We have to start to fine tune. So unfortunately for some of these boys, they're gonna get hit hard, especially over the next few weeks. You know, but there's no hard feelings by it. It's a fight camp.
You know, you got to develop a whole support network as a fighter. You can't just really do it on your own. I mean, some do. But again, it just comes down to knowing your athlete and trying to be a little bit better every day. I'm sure the first time I work with an athlete, I'll have a certain feel for it. The third time, the fifth time, it would be like, you know them like the back of your hand, you know? And so it's just about knowing your athletes and listening, you know? We do a lot of talking as coaches, but we got to listen too.
I just want to talk about a few things, guys. You know, we're just getting started here. I mean, we're, I don't know, 6-7 months deep into this thing. we've done some pretty cool shit up to this point, and you know, we've had our fair share of setbacks. But that's just part of the deal. It's part of all of our journeys and our path here as we continue to improve. But I want to talk a little bit more from a broader perspective. That we want to do something that's special. We want to do something that's going to leave our mark, you know, on this sport and on the community. Okay. With that being said, I want to talk about you guys. We have to encourage and we have to establish a sense of ownership amongst the fighters, amongst the athletes. We got to recognize that this isn't my team. This isn't Henry's team. This is our team. You know, and the more we can accept that ownership, the higher level of responsibility we hold ourselves to, the higher level of accountability, which is rare in this sport because you guys are warriors by nature. You want to be selfish. You look after yourself, number one, which I get. But with this shared sense of ownership, there has to be a shared sense of accountability, not only to yourself, but to the guy beside you.
When a teammate has a fight coming up, for me, maybe it's just how I've been, but I feel like it's my responsibility to make sure I've held him accountable for him to raise his level of excellence. So when he goes out to perform, he blows everybody out of the water because that's what I know he's capable of. And so that's one of the biggest things. You know, I have to pick up the intensity because I know I got to make sure he's on his game when he goes out and perform. I love it, man. I love it. I love helping my guys.
Struve, Andre, break them down. Last training session.
Guys, thanks for pushing me and Struve, throughout this whole. thanks for pushing me, man. I try to be the hardest worker in the room every day I show up, but that's really hard to do with this group, man. So that means you guys push me to the max, and I'll be ready for this fight come Saturday.
Yes. I don't have much to say already, you know, like put in the work. Thank you everybody for bringing in great energy every day. Keep doing that, keep going up, keep getting those wins. We got another 2 this weekend. Yeah?
Thursday.
Yes. Another one on Thursday.
At Casino. Victor's this weekend too.
All right. Great job, guys. Let's break it down.
1, 2, 3.
I got a vegan meal. Quinoa and lentil pancake with fingerling, potatoes, and asparagus. 256 calories. You want some fingerling? I'm gonna go home, finish packing. You know your boy, the sensation, gotta get his haircut for fight week. I'm actually going to work tonight. I'm gonna go teach class at the Combat Club.
Struve, what you gonna do for your the rest of the day before we leave tomorrow?
I got a massage, cryo, washing my shit, packing the bags. You know, I bring a lot of stuff from Holland. This time I'm going to Vegas and then back home, so I need to pack all that. Maybe a little workout at the house, eat a bunch of times in between. That's a day. So, and then tomorrow, wake up around 8, get my stuff, go to the airport around 9:30. We're there, Vegas. We're here, coming.